So I'm just going to give you guys a quick breakdown of a trade that I took today and what I was looking for, etc. So just looking at price on the 1 hour time frame, the first thing I noticed coming into this week was this 1 hour fair value gap. So I know that price doesn't always have to straight away come into this zone, but it was definitely some type of target I was looking at. And we can see throughout the whole of this week, we've just been bullish. So to look at what I was looking at on a Thursday, if we look at Asia session, which was the night before Wednesday night, we can see that we were having a lot of bullish momentum. So we had low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, high, high. So to go into the 5 minute and to look at what I was looking at, what I was seeing was once we started having this retracement down, this was obviously the last low that made the high on the 1 hour time frame. Once we broke that straight away, I was looking at these two zones because if we go even to the 15 minute, if you notice, we have this 15 minute order block and this 15 minute order block. So straight away I was thinking, okay, we've had this break now. Price can retrace into one of these zones, we can look for sells. But at the same time, even though we had this break, if we look at the 1 hour time frame, notice how, yes, price took out these lows, but we come into this 1 hour order block. So for me, I was thinking, potentially a battle between this demand zone and this minor supply zone now. So going back to the 5 minute time frame, my first potential entry was, even though it tapped into the 1 hour demand zone, it had a bit of a reaction and it came back down. And if we notice, this is on the 5 minute, but price actually did come into this 5 minute order block. And if we look at the 50 minute one, we can see it came into the 50 minute zone as well. So it touched it. And even if you look at on this time frame, we can see two candlestick rejections on the 15 minutes. So it shows you that potentially price is looking to go up. So as I was looking at that, I mean, my first entry and my first trade potentially could have been, once we closed above here, I would have potentially had my entry there, stop loss just below here, and then I potentially would have just targeted a 1 to 2. So that's generally a first entry could have definitely got into. Now the one that I got into, which is a bit more riskier to be honest, but if we look at how price was pushing up, notice again price pushed up, 5 minute order block, price came and tapped into it and then continued to push up. This could have even been a second trade you could have got into 100%. As it's pushing up, again we saw this 5 minute order block, and as we were approaching this zone where I was looking to initially sell, I was like, let me see the type of reaction it's going to have. And it did have decent reaction. But for me, with this bullish momentum and with GJ is predominantly a bullish pair, so I did have that in consideration. And also what I was saying before with that higher time frame fair value gap. So yes, it did have good rejections, but when price came down and we had this rejection to the downside, where this black line is, when price pushed up past that black line, that's where I look for my trade. See, I had my entry here, stop loss here, and I was aiming for 1 to 2. And even notice up here where I was saying there's a 15 minute order block, look how it did have this reaction. Yeah, it wasn't the craziest reaction, but it just shows like price doesn't just move randomly. Price reacts to these different POIs, so it just shows you how kind of powerful it is. So that's basically the trade I took.